you have a cell phone in your pocket, there's a 50-50 chance.
I'm joined today by Ethan Hunt, supply chain consultant with Agilent Technologies. Ethan, welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about Agilent?
Agilent is what we refer to as a premier test and measurement company. And basically we cover a lot of different parts of high tech, as well as another half of our company is life sciences and chemical analysis. We also recently got into genomics when we purchased DACO, which is a big genomics company.
So, wide range of customers. Can you tell me like what types of companies might be your biggest customers?
Yeah, definitely. So if you have a cell phone in your pocket, there's a 50-50 chance it was tested on a piece of our equipment. Labs would use a lot of our life sciences and chemical analysis equipment. And then we also have spectrum analyzers, network analyzers, signal generators. So these are things that if a network company needs to go set up a network, or a mobile carrier needs to set up a network, that they might use they would use our equipment to test the signals that their antennas are producing and so forth.
So you have a pretty high value premier name in this industry.
Yes, definitely.
What would you say from a supply chain perspective would be your chief goals or objectives?
I think if you start from the top level of the supply chain, or what I refer to as the top level of supply chain, you're looking at customer delivery, I think being the paramount thing that we try to achieve. And then just below that, I think quality is a huge differentiator for us, or it has been for a long time. And then I think inside the supply chain, when you get a little bit further away from the customer, what we're really looking for there is efficiency and the concepts of continual improvement and so forth.
Yeah. That being the case, what would you describe as your main pain points?
Main pain points. I think actually in the spirit of trying to deliver to what the customers would like, we actually run something called an unconstrained plan, which means that orders for customers can drop in almost at any time, and without us telling them, no, we can't deliver that because we don't have the parts for it or something like that. So this is obviously something that we do to ourselves, but it's a challenge that we're willing to take on so we can provide that better customer delivery.
Mm-hmm. So I understand that you're involved in some rapid acquisition integration, validating new kind of complex configure-to-order bill of materials setups for supply chain integration. It sounds like a very complicated type picture. Tell me a little bit more about what you're doing in that area.
Yeah, so anytime you perform an acquisition, there's a lot of information systems that have to be integrated, and sometimes there's no information system, which is even the more challenging type of company to buy. Maybe it's small or new or something like that. So anytime you can take information that might only even exist on spreadsheets or something like that and put it into a system that we're currently using, in this case rapid response has been very beneficial for us, you have an advantage at being able to integrate that company faster and have better information while you're doing so. And so we did, one of my colleagues was presenting here at the Kinexions conference, and she's going through how we were able to load in bills of material from this acquisition, look at inventory that we brought over with them, and in some cases we had parts where we were going to be providing parts into the new supply chain we were setting up, but we also still needed to buy components from them. And so if we wanted to make a long-term purchase to cover all of our needs of the parts we were buying from them, we were able to use rapid response to do that. We could set up a plan that looked out years, not just 12 months, but maybe 5, 8, 10 years, and say, okay, how much of these parts do we think we'll need over that horizon?
Yeah. You're probably inheriting a number of different ERP systems in the process of making all these acquisitions, are you? And so that gives you a challenge of having to put all that into your own system? Yeah,
in fact, we really are a tale of two stories at Agilent, because we have our electronics measurement group, which is mainly where I'm focused, runs on Oracle. The life sciences and chemical side mainly runs on SAP. And so that in itself has been a challenge, because how do you look at common parts that might be used across those supply chains? Interestingly enough, next year we're going to be spinning off into 2 companies. So the SAP guys are going in one direction, Oracle guys are going in another. But until then, software like rapid response, other data warehousing type softwares have been huge for us.
Yeah, I imagine also that you're out to kind of improve the speed and accuracy of your decision-making process, just making the decisions faster, in addition to be able to make them out to a longer time window too.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So this level of responsiveness, I imagine, you consider it to be pretty essential to you remaining competitive in your business today, right?
Yes, definitely.
Is it a very competitive business? I mean, you are a big name out there,
yeah.
So I guess one could possibly be tempted to feel complacent about your position in the industry. I take it that isn't your attitude.
No, market share is very important to us. We have an interesting array of competitors. I mean, all the way from, I think it was Flextronics, who was purchased by Danaher, which is a huge company, all the way down to a privately held company called Rohde & Schwartz, who competes very heavily with us in our signal analyzer area. And then there's new forms of what we do that are coming into the market. So whereas we might sell these huge, SUV style test boxes, there's actually new competitors and technologies that we're developing that would give more of a modular approach to what happens. So you might have a chassis, and then you would put different cards in that perform different functionality based on the solution that the customer needs. And customers love that because they can get something that's more configured to what they want on their production line or in their lab.
Yeah, you do rely on pretty high level outsourcing, right?
Yes, yeah, very heavily.
Given that fact, how do you maintain control of your supply chain and coordination of the whole thing?
Yeah, I think, Agilent, which we actually used to be part of Hewlett-Packard, had a lot of homegrown systems that we used to use. And we've been highly outsourced for 10, 15 years now, not just moving operations to Asia-Pacific, but also going to contract manufacturers for assembly builds. So we had a lot of internal processes that we've built over time. Then I'd say over the last 5 years, we've really refined those processes and improved them with rapid response. The ability to take supply chain data from our CMs and put it into rapid response and connect up into our portions of the supply chain is extremely powerful. So we can not only see what's happening at our CMs, but we can simulate changes at our level through the CMs back down into lower level parts that we still make that we supply to those CMs. So there's 3 pieces that we need to connect together, and there's still a lot of spreadsheets and so forth, but the rapid response software has been a huge, I think, advantage for us over the last 5 years.
Are there also suppliers upstream of the CMs over which you need to have visibility? Is that an issue for you at all?
Typically, either we supply parts to the contract manufacturers, or they've handled the procurement of the parts that they're handling. So it's split pretty well, and we really just focus on the stuff that we're building that we send into them.
Yeah. So that multi-tier visibility isn't really that big a deal for you then. You seem to have a handle on that at least.
Yes.
Which is more than can be said for so many companies.
Yeah.
You guys have won some awards recently
Yes.
for your work in the supply chain. What other was it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, the one I'm the most excited about was recently, just this year, the Supply Chain Council, which I think they're the ones that developed the score model and so forth. We took first prize in their one of their supply chain awards this year, and it was for a vertical integration project that we have been working on for the last couple of years. And basically, it was taking all that supply chain data I talked about, from those CMs and in rapid response, and really optimizing our processes with that data. Because just having all the data from your company and your CMs in one place, that's not really enough. There has to be the processes and things to go along with that. And if it wasn't for all the work we did in that area, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we can do today, such as simulate changes at a customer level, simulate the loss of parts down at a lower level, and what's going to happen to delivery because of that. And so that was, I think, very well recognized by the Supply Chain Council when they gave us that award.
That simulation allows you to do a lot of what-if analyses, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Which keeps you from committing to kind of the wrong kind of decision.
Right. Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of rapid response, or the most valuable thing to you, something that really stands out in your mind?
Yeah, just the CM visibility is the biggest thing. I sound like a broken record repeating that, but it's the way that we're outsourced, and like you talked about so many companies today, I don't see how we would be able to do the business that we do without that visibility. And I think right behind it again though is having that vertically linked plan and that supply chain where you can simulate changes in what's happening. We have very sensitive equipment. We have very, very cutting edge technology parts that we put into that equipment. And so any little problem with manufacturing processes are something that we need to have a handle on very quickly and be able to look at what might happen because of that.
Is that a two-way street? I mean, you obviously are looking for visibility to the CM's operations. Do they also have visibility to your demand plan and your forecasts?
Yes, actually recently we've set up some more supplier collaboration activities where we actually have to take a forecast that we give to one of our CMs, and they have to turn around and forecast back to us, because these are little chips that we make in a fab operation that we have, that we send out to be packaged by a contract manufacturer, and they send the packages back to us. Then we take those packages and send them to Asia, and then that factory might send them to another contract manufacturer to go into an assembly or a microcircuit or something like that. So yeah, definitely it's a two-way street, and we're still trying to improve on those types of interactions.
So going forward, what do you think is your biggest challenge, or where are you going to be putting most of your focus on in terms of your supply chain in the years to come?
I think that how we handle new product introductions is something that has a lot of visibility right now. Just like it's happening, I think, in the consumer technology market, you can trace back to us, as being more of a manufacturing provider. We are having to rev our products faster, and we're having to bring them to market faster than we ever have before. And so how we handle those NPIs, forecast them, set up the demand plan, build in safety stocks and all those things, that's a big challenge that we're going to be focused on over the next couple of years. And then lately, actually, inventory has been a major challenge for us as well. So again, having that visibility, I think is going to give us a leg up on trying to look at the drivers of inventory, what happens if we make changes to different plans, and then trying to optimize those inventory levels.
Ethan, thank you so much for that insight into a really, really dynamic industry. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Ethan Hunt of Agilent Technologies. Thank you very much for watching.